James Lund is James the Wine Guy. Stay tuned in this video. We're going to talk about this beautiful wine. It is a Monticello Viognier from Virginia, so stay tuned. Now I was on VA Wine Chat with Frank Morgan, and he had 3 wines presented. So this is the first wine from Veritas. And first of all, I need to pour a little bit more in my wine glass because I like to get a lot of aromatic flow through on the wine. Great that this is a screw cap wine. And it was really nice to have this hosted by Frank and to have each of these winemakers presented. So Emily Pelton is from Veritas. So here we go, the proper introduction to this wine. So this is Veritas, love the name, Viognier 2013 vintage, Monticello. And you see the ABV, there's 13%. Back panel for your inspection right here. And often when I think of Viognier, maybe I'm thinking the California Viognier, is you generally get a very high alcohol point. And what I mean by high is about 14%, 14.5%. So it's really nice to see a dialed down version. And ultimately, even if it's just 1%, that 1% makes a big difference. It's really going to characterize differently. And those nuances that are going to be taken up by the alcohol point is really going to come out to focus and to highlight. So what we have here is 95% Viognier, 5% Petit Mansing. Petit Mansing. The reason you use that is obviously for acid point to increase that. Now, Petit Mansing is you're going to see a lot of that coming from Virginia. I think the plantings are increasing, if I'm understanding the story correctly. And also you're going to find this in other places like Georgia, North Carolina, and so forth. Obviously in France as well. So what I love about Viognier is I think one of these wine varieties that had a really popular following, at least in California, about a decade ago. And that tapered off. But I think ultimately it's a wine grape that needs to have this attention, this focus. It is truly a beautiful wine. So when I go to a Rhone tasting, often people gravitate to the Marsanne Roussanne. And somehow the Viognier is left behind. It's not really sought after. But I think Virginia does a great job of Viognier. For me, this is a really beautiful gravity to this wine. A wonderful mouthfeel, first of all. A great texture. So here we go first with the scent characterization, flavor profile, and the point score. And I like to enjoy this in a burgundy glass because I think it's going to characterize handsomely. And do some swirl action here. Beautiful notes of white flowers, fresh gold, and green citrus zest. Additional notes on this include fennel and jasmine. So here we go next to the flavor characterization and the point score. Notes of stone fruit of white Arctic peach, apricot, and essence of exotic green citrus, white floral, and hint of cardamom and pine nut. Beautiful wine. I give this a 9.3 out of my 10.0 scale. So think of this as 93 points out of 100 points. And what an amazing, fantastic year. It's been a year of great diversity, first of all. Secondly, really getting that great exposure of beautiful, crafted, smaller production wines, and one to seek out. So if you're in the DC area or Virginia area, seek out these wines. They're going to be much more, obviously, you're going to find them much more readily available. But secondly, if you don't, look down below for more information on the producers. Seek them out. I think ultimately that's what I'm going to ask you to do, is if you find something compelling that I'm talking about, actually go out there and seek it. Maybe it's your wine merchant. Maybe in California, for example, a great example would be to have your wine merchant bring them in. I've asked and I will continue to ask. But ultimately, it's I think a lot of wine buyers and wine retail organizations really try to go out there and get what consumers want. I don't think they're just buying for themselves. I truly and honestly, I've been part of a wine retail organization. And I think ultimately, bottom line is that wine buyers are really trying to help, the wine consumer, help you to get what you really want. So again, stay tuned for more. An amazing wine year. I'm on many social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Thank you so much, and salud.